Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. In this video, I have a few precepts going into enduring and trusting in Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI because of these evil days that are about to take place here in Babylon the Great, which is America. And the only way that you're going to be able to come out of this situation that's about to happen is by having faith and trust in Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI. We look at the generations of old and all of the scriptures and all the accounts, and none of those people who trust in Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI were confounded. And so now in these last days, as watchmen for YAHAWASHI, we have to be put in those trials and tribulations and in the furnace of affliction. Just as it says in the book of Sirach 2, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Because we're seeing all that's taking place, and being a part of this ministry, you are basically being marked from the world and put away from the world, but resting with Yahawashi in his secret place. And now we're separated. There's a line being drawn on the sand. But as you can see, when we're out there on the highways and hedges, not everybody wants to hear this noise. And we've piped into this very lovely song, but these people, the 2/3, are like children in the marketplace. They don't want to hear this. They'd rather hear smooth things, ultimately because they don't want this party that's happening in Babylon to be canceled, to be shut down. They want this place to continue on forever and ever. Well, Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI has different plans. So I wanted to start off reading this, but instead I'll actually start off with this precept. This is in Psalms 32:7. It says, "Thou art mine hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance." Selah. And what's about to take place in the society, and we always bring it out when we're at the camp, about Jacob's trouble. And one thing that's kind of happening in the news with the whole SNAP program and the EBT, because the government supposedly is shut down, that they're not giving people who need money to buy food stamps, if you will, aren't going to get that money. And you can see the 2/3, instead of trusting Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, so that they can prevail in whatever chastisement, judgment, or trials and tribulations that they're going through, they're not trusting in Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI. They're going and pleading to the devil. The shadow of Egypt is who they trust. Esau, Edom, because ultimately they're just part of this society. And when we preach these things, they understand it not, but despise it. And this is just an opening to repentance. We're messengers of Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, letting you know basically to repent, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And to those who disregard that message, well, we don't lose sleep over that, because we know that we're only out there preaching to the elect few. And like this precept right here in Psalms 32:7, and the one that I'm going to read in a little bit in Psalms 91, these all apply to the hopeful elect in today's times who have heard this message and now are came to the ministry and are supping with us, building with us even, because this is the only structure that's going to survive the destruction that Babylon is going to be visited with. And of course, metaphorical, because when Yahawashi returns with those chariots, he's going to deliver his elect. This is right here. I'll start in Matthew 7:24, because this is basically what this ministry is likened unto. It says, "Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock." And so that's why you only see a select few at these camps. Yeah, you got a big number of brothers waking up, coming to the ministry, studying, and doing all these things. But ultimately, this is not for the masses. The majority of the people walk on by and disregard our message and actually despise it. But those who do understand what's taking place, they understand that if you turn on the news, it's all bad. It's all bad news. And the only way that you can actually be delivered is actually divine intervention. Those people are likened unto wise men who are building their house upon a rock. And that rock right here in this ministry is representative of Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI, him being the chief cornerstone. And then all the other elders, the apostles, and from the brothers on down, make that third temple. And that's the only way you're going to be able to be protected in these days to come. Real quick, this is in Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noise and pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and buckler. And this is a song that we sing, like how I started this in Psalms 32:7, just highlighting the fact that these are the songs, these are the precepts, this is the way that we meditate, that we have access to this secret place of Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI. Through thy precepts I get understanding, and all these false ways that this society has brought us up to are now dissipating, all through the power of the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI. And so that who have ears to hear are likened unto wise men. So this is back in Matthew 7:24, actually going to the next precept in verse 25, because these wise men, they see the impending doom that's about to take place. And verse 25, it says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And you could say that these 2/3, when they're building their house on top of a foundation of sand that's not stable, that's how these people in this world live their life, chasing that bag, or thinking that money is the end-all be-all to them having a good time down here. But ultimately, that is incorrect. Really is, if you trust in Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI, then he will make sure that you're fed. He will make sure that you're in a good case, whereas these other people who have disobeyed his message and his laws, and understood them not, but despised them, those people are going to be in torments. When the situations take place, their houses are not going to be able to stand. Only people that are going to be able to stand are the elect of the nation of Israel, because those are the ones who took heed to the message when we're sounding the alarm in Zion. All right, so I'm going to read a few precepts, but I'll read these last two. This is in Isaiah 32:2. It says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And this is representative of the elect of the nation of Israel during the times of Jacob's trouble. But really, you could witness that kind of now, because as brothers are speaking this word, we have authority and power from Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI. And we ask for things, and we receive them through the Spirit. And so now you're seeing that the brothers are now being built up in the Spirit, so that when push comes to shove, when Jacob's trouble happens, when the tempest comes, us being loyal and faithful to Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI, that rock is not going to shake when the earthquakes happen, when the fires burn places down. Because this rock that we're speaking about, the third temple, is impervious to all those things. So all these other people are going to be looking at us as if we're like an oasis in a desert, or a big rock in the desert that casts a shade. So you best believe people are going to be looking at us a certain way, because we're going to be satiated, we're going to eat, and they're not. Because as it says in the book of Isaiah, his servants shall eat. But the rest of these people, the ones who did not take heed to the message, they're going to starve, amongst other judgments that it's going to take place down here. And so that's why we always say, with all thy getting, get understanding. Come to this ministry and sup with us, build with us. Because right now, before the evil days come, you should be seeking Yahweh Ba'Shem YAHAWASHI 10 times more while he is able to be found. Because when that time happens, there's going to be a cutoff point, and it's going to be hard for you to be looking for these words. Just like it says in the book of Amos, the famine of the word. But I'm going to read this last precept and then finish off this video. This is in Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And that's something also that is being checked with us. When we're building upon this ministry, we're really examining ourselves to see if we're of this ministry. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing, following the scriptures as we were supposed to do, as how our apostles of Great Millstone, the elders on down, have taught us. So part of that is knowing, understanding that you are going to go through certain difficult situations, but you have to endure until the end, because those people are just being tested to see if their faith is really in YAHAWASHI. But if you endure all those things, you are going to be saved in the last. I'm going to read this again, Matthew 24 and 13. All right, so it's Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And so just to reference the hand on the plow. If you put your hand on the plow, you're working in this ministry, you're building with us, but you quit, you're not welcome back. That is basically a person who's not fit for the kingdom of heaven, a person who did not endure until the end, and a person who's pretty much just vetted out. Because actually, I got that in the same chapter, Matthew 7. There will be instances where you see a person come up to this ministry pretty much faking the funk, pretending to be a brother, but really not trusting in YAHAWASHI. Because I'll actually read this in Matthew 7, and I'll start at verse 21. It says, not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And we actually have certain accounts like this. You be in this ministry a little longer, like I have, or other brothers and elders specifically, you'll actually see what we call fallouts. People will kind of just come up to the ministry, wait up a bit, and take up space pretty much, eating the chicken, drinking all the booze, and just basically being a nuisance. But really, their hearts is not in YAHAWASHI. Because I'm going to read from verse 21 again. It says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So those are the people who are going to endure. And you're going to see fallouts. You're going to see people who have let go of the plow or stopped building, or they didn't really take account the cost and the time and energy that has to be put to this building that we're building. And the rest of these people are going to be scoffing, making fun of those people, because they didn't really understand the severity of the situation that we're in. Well, you read these precepts and you understand that what's about to take place with Jacob's trouble, the only way that you're going to be able to save yourself out of that is through these precepts, is through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of YAHAWASHI and trusting in him. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHAWASHI, Bahashem Rakal Kadash. Hopefully this video is edifying, and Shalom Akim.